All this is you show up, you put the work in, learn. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be fucking hard, because you're wrestling yourself. But once you finally get past yourself and get out of your own fucking way, then you'll really start to learn. And you'll see that you've made it much more harder than it needs to be. Because it's all basically psychological. You're afraid of losing money. You're afraid of being wrong. You're afraid of failing. You're afraid of your fucking spouse or your coworkers or your family members, your friends, to say, I told you it wasn't going to work. It's all a pipe dream. And some of you, deep down inside, listen, folks, listen. It's going to get so hard that you're going to actually create the environment for that to happen. So that way it's ending all the pain. That short little momentary embarrassment around your family and friends, your coworkers. Yeah, I lost my fucking money and you're right. It's fucking bullshit. Nobody's taking money. It's all fucking fraud. It's a scam. It's all horseshit. Because you don't want to endure. It's hard wrestling with that feeling of, what would they think of me if I fail? Fuck that. Why are you even entertaining that shit? Listen. Failure is a fucking choice. That's not a guarantee. Failure is a fucking choice. Setbacks, speed bumps, adversities, that's all part of this, like anything else. Anything worth doing is going to be fucking hard. It's going to cost money. It's going to cost time. It's going to cause you to have to put more effort in this than anything you've ever done. Weak people don't survive in this industry. Unorganized, undisciplined, irresponsible motherfuckers do not stay in this business. You have to be an adult that is an independent thinker that understands there's real risk in this shit. You could lose your ass. And when you have this skill set, you're going to feel exactly what I feel. And some of you that are weaker and younger, you're going to do the same shit I did when I was 20-something years old. I was the biggest dick, the biggest prick there ever was. And you can hear sometimes, it's still in me. That young man still likes to raise his head up once in a while. But the old man in me, just to remind his ass, sit down now. But that humanity in me is still there. But you're going to feel what it feels like and know what you know. And nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can make you forget about it. They can't discount it. They can't say it doesn't work. Who gives a fuck how many people are going to doubt you? Listen, you start making $50,000 a fucking month. How many people will it take for you to be convinced that what you're doing is bullshit? How many people will it take for you to be convinced that you making over 6 figures every 6 fucking months consistently? How many people will it take for them to convince you that what you're doing is a waste of your fucking time? How many people does it take you to do that? There ain't enough. There ain't enough. And you're gonna understand you're bulletproof. Who gives a fuck who likes you and doesn't like you? Who cares? Is it gonna change how you sleep, where you sleep, how you eat, how you raise your children? No. What you do with your money is your fucking business. You don't owe anybody an explanation what the fuck you can do with your money. None. But they're all going to tell you what you should be doing with it. What you shouldn't have done with it. So don't even invite them into your conversation. You got to keep these types of people, which is the public, the social media fucking clowns. They're all going to pretend they know something better. And they ain't bringing shit to the discussion. To let them influence anything in your development is stupid. When I was a 20-year-old, knowing this stuff makes you feel immortal. Arrogance, pride. When we get older and you have a family and you lose family members, you lose children, that stuff weighs on you and your view about how you keep score in life changes. It's not about how much money you make and how much you have in the bank. And I want to be able to know that I've done as much as I can within the scope of my capabilities. Because I don't claim to know how to teach the best way. I don't know how to do that. I've prayed all the time. Because I know what it feels like for me to live like this. 50 years old. And 1,000 thoughts in my head all the time. And when I was younger, it was all violent thoughts. You would look at me and think, wow, this boy's quiet. He's so pleasant, he's well-mannered. But I had homicidal thoughts in my head all the time. Because I didn't want to be where I was. I felt uncomfortable, claustrophobic, pressure, anxious. Not knowing that they were chemical imbalances in... How do you articulate that as a kid? You don't know how to. Say stay quiet, you say nothing. Too much emphasis is placed on image. And I don't want any of you as my students that become good at this fall victim to that stuff. You can go into it with all the right mindset like I did. All I care about is make $1,000 a month and I'll retire at 40. And then when you taste real money, real fast, that stuff changes you real easy. And then when you make it known to people around you, your friends and your family, and they bring in their views about what it is that you should be doing and how you should do this and do that. And they can't even make their bills. They can't even get their car fixed because they don't have enough money. And you're making what they earn in 4 months in a day. And they're going to tell you what you're supposed to be doing. And they get angry because you're not listening to them. How many times do you have to listen to that before you blow up in their face and tell them about themselves? That's what I did. And I wish I could go back in time and take it away. Because those words cut. Your family members, they love you. Your friends, they love you. But they're not going to love you doing better than them. It's a rare quality in a person. Well, and some of you are going to experience that, unfortunately. So the best thing you can do is mind your own fucking business. And don't let anybody else mind yours. Meaning, don't talk about what you make. Don't talk about what you're doing. Don't plan on sharing what you're planning on doing. The only thing you're doing is inviting people that are not doing it, won't understand what you're doing. They don't have the capabilities to even pursue it, because if they did, they'd be doing it themselves. Proof of that, as soon as you tell them you're trading, all you're going to lose your ass. That's a pipe dream. They just communicated their view of it, which they adopted from somebody else because they'd never done it. Ask anybody that's making money today if you should pursue what you're doing. Fucking right you should. Abso-fucking-lutely you should. Why is it taking you this fucking long? Why aren't you already fucking traded? That's the response you're going to get from people that they're successful. Get the fuck in here and let's go. You're missing out, let's go. They can't stop you from doing this, folks. Until they turn the markets completely off. They shut the show down completely. There is no way they're going to stop you from doing what I'm teaching you. There's no fucking way they can. That's the understanding you get. Once you see what it is I'm teaching you, there's no fucking way that they can stop you from doing this. There's no reason for you to fear it not working in the future. This is how the markets fucking work. How hard is that to understand? Like, this is it. This is the source. This is it. You're going right to where the rubber meets the road. It turns out to if everybody got. Look for a cool liquidity on a 1 or 5 minute chart. 5 handles. Done. But what if it goes 30? Who gives a fuck? You're aiming for 5. 5. Okay? You're doing this to make money. You're not doing this to impress people on fucking social media. That's what some of you are you're more focused about that. That's the driver for you, because that gives you what? Significance. And I understand that wholeheartedly. Believe me, I understand that. But that is a pursuit that's wasted. You want to be making money. That's why you're here. You're not even here to impress anybody. You're here to make fucking money. And you can't make fucking money if you are not consistently doing the same things. How do you do that? You have to have a goal. When you have that moment of astonishment, where you can see these things before they happen, and you know where they're going to key up on, where the highs and lows are going to form, where the setups are going to form, and all you get to do is wait for the time of day when it's going to form. There's nothing that you can use in terms of words to describe it. It's that moment of what feels like real magic. It feels like all the planets aligned. Like everything finally makes sense. And it's a weird epiphany that I still am always trying to find a way to articulate it, and I can't, because none of the words I could string together won't even come close. It feels like you can finally see it. The thing that you don't even know what you're looking for, which makes no sense. You listening to me right now, and I'm hearing my own words. It doesn't reach far enough. It doesn't, because it gives you a sense of empowerment that when you experience it and you start living it and you can see it repeating all the time, if you communicate the level of confidence you have in it, you're going to sound arrogant too. You're going to. And at some point, you're not going to give a fuck what people think, because you don't have time to explain it. And at 50 years old, I don't have time to explain it, okay? I don't have a way of explaining it where you're gonna have to experience it yourself. And some of you have been experiencing it. Students that have gone through mentorship, they have experienced it. They make real fucking money. They don't give a shit whether you believe them or not. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. None of that matters. Their life is completely and permanently fucking changed for the positive. They don't give a rat's ass. Who's making videos about what? Who's talking about what? They don't give a shit. When you start making money, be honest now, who's gonna be the one that gives a fuck what anybody else thinks when you start making bank? Name the person you're gonna give a fuck about hearing from. When you start making 6 figures a year, who's gonna be the person that's gonna make you feel bad about doing that? Is there anybody you can name? Because chances are you're probably typing nobody. Yep, nobody. That's the person that's gonna influence you. Because none of this is gonna matter. Anybody's opinion about what you're doing when you're being successful matters not. And there's nothing wrong with living like that. Being successful is always going to have some measure of other people being angry they couldn't do what you're doing. And now they've cultivated this mindset that if you can do it, you owe everybody else a piece of it. Because it's not fair. Equality. Here's the equality. I'm giving it to you for fucking free. You all have the same advantages. So do it. Do it. But once you get there, don't be stingy with it. Help other people. Do something nice for other people. Yeah, I want to hear about that. I'm hoping that I've encouraged that type of mindset in all of you. And when you get to that point where you can afford to do things nice, you don't have to make a big show of it. I have people that are building hospitals in other countries. I have people that are building orphanages and all these things. Like that, to me and my family, when we see that type of stuff, that's incredible. That's stuff that really matters. Not, I bought a fucking Lamborghini, man, I had to pay cash for it, it's great. And fuck off. Clearly, you can tell still at 50 years old, I am still immersed in this because it is me. Like, this is me. My wife says all the time, it's like, this is you. This is, like, we're small little pieces and extensions and peripherals to your trading. We're the small little extras in the play that is ICT. In the grocery store, we might be paying a lot more money for things than today, but it's not a ruthless cutthroat business like trading is. There's nothing like this. And when you get involved in it, you're either going to fall in love with it and fall head over heels over it. Even if you're not profitable with it, you're still going to love it. If you feel that way, I'm going to tell you something. You are destined to do well in this. You have the very thing that's needed. That means the passion and the endearment for this industry. Because if you're a casual, just dabble and see what happens. If I make money, great. If I don't, fuck this shit, I'm out of here. If you lose money and you feel like this is it, this is the worst thing that ever happened, this decision you made was the worst you could have ever done for yourself, the trading is not for you. Because losing on trades or losing an account for a real trader, that doesn't mean shit. That's just a speed bump. Now, I'm not discounting the fear, the regret, the remorse that you're going to feel if you blow your account. And that's real. You have to come to terms with that. And you're going to feel that if you have monthly goals and you first start out, you're going to think you got to figure it out. You're going to go faster, harder than you really should, sooner than you should. And you're going to have that same experience every one of us have had, regretting pushing too hard, trying to prove something, and you blow out. Let me tell you something. There ain't no shame in doing that. If you blow out, max loss day, blow your account, major drawdown, go into a tailspin, all that shit is what we do. That's what this industry That's the common denominator. You're going to lose eventually. But how much are you going to lose? If you push really hard and you try to do Olympic-sized feats and you blow the account, does that mean you suck as a trader? No. It just means that you were pushing really, really hard and you went beyond the thresholds that your account and your skill set could afford.